One question I gotta ask, why do people call you Spoon?
That's probably been the most asked question within like the past 3 months. A friend's younger sister started calling me Spoon because I was skinny with a big head. As a builder, I want those accolades. Like, I want to do the SEMA build. I want to bring a car to SEMA.
So if you had like the full setup for a K series, how fast do you think you could put it together?
A day or two. Like, Origin is not that great, and I understand there's a whole cult following to Origin.
Yeah.
Like, Jimmy doesn't want to run anything but Origin. Not for me.
I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.
Welcome back to the #1 Drift podcast on YouTube, presented by Injuku Racing. My name is Dawson, and today we have
Spoon A60.
Hell yeah. I've been wanting to have him on for a while, so I know you guys have asked for him. So
Have they? Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
That's sick.
But of course, before we get into the podcast, we are actually here at Lime Rock for Gridlife. So big shout out to them. They let us take over one of their, I guess, the clubhouses and stuff.
Hospitality suite, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So we get to kick everyone out and take over this room. So big shout out to them.
Insane. Look at this view.
Right, dude? We got the racetrack right behind us. Hopefully you guys can see the cars going past. I think I set the camera angle up enough. Yours is pretty bright, whatever. But yeah, so big shout out to Gridlife. If you haven't been to one, you definitely should go. I personally have been loving it this year. My first one was this year, and now I've been to like 5 of them.
Yeah, no, this is our local track, so it's probably one of my favorite events of the year.
Gotta be. The track is itself is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Too.
Like,
you're like surrounded by mountains and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah. Northeast in the summer is just beautiful. Good weather.
Oh yeah. But yeah, sorry. So also before we get into it, look below the video. Make sure the subscribe button is not still red. If it is, go ahead and click that and hit the bell notification while you're at it so you never miss an episode. And then on top of that, we probably will talk about parts and stuff. So majority of parts you'll need can be found on Injuku, and links to that are always in the description. And then, yes, also big shout out to Kansei too for helping me get to this episode and some of the other ones here. So big shout out to them. We got a little bit more on that later in the episode, so stay tuned for that because that'll be kind of cool. We're here with
Josh Shores
from.
Pensacola, Florida.
First question is, what was your first set of wheels that you ever got?
Oh man, a pair of XXRs, just some old cheap whatever.
Good old rips.
Right, some whatever I could afford. Yeah.
What is one wheel that is popular among most, but you personally don't like?
Oh man, that's a good one. For comp purposes only, just like Cosmos, I would say.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, what is one wheel that is discontinued, but you wish was still made?
Man, that's tough.
Mine's the Battles.
Yeah, no, I would say those are pretty high up there. Those are high on the list.
Absolutely. And then, what is your opinion on black wheels?
Oh man, I want to be nice again, but no,
Black wheels suck.
they're all the same.
Awesome. That'll work.
Yeah, no, thank you, man.
We're here with.
Chase McMaster from Chase Base.
First question I got for you is, what was your first set of wheels?
For my Honda CRX, Inky J Speed 3s.
Nice. And then, what is one wheel that is popular among most, but you personally hate?
Oh, I'm gonna get some hate for this, but the Blitz 03s that are like $5,000 now.
Yeah. The price makes them that bad.
Yeah, but just the design in general, you know, not my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, and then what is one wheel that is discontinued but you wish was still made?
Everybody's gonna say this, but the original TE37s, the OGs.
I can go with that one.
Yeah, any ones that we see on Yahoo Japan, we buy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a huge
Okay, and then what is your opinion on black wheels?
I don't personally love black wheels. We have white wheels on literally everything. White shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah, this guy too. Yeah, but black wheels serve a purpose. You know, if you have a track car, it hides the brake dust, obviously. But in drifting, I definitely don't like it because you can't see what the front wheels do.
It's hard to see when they pull the e-brake too.
You get to hide a lot of corrections and bad driving.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And we're here with
Nate Hamilton,
from
Dallas, Texas, man.
The first question I got for you is what was your first set of wheels?
I'm trying to think. Maybe Advans, way back in the day, the 3 spokes.
Oh,
I forget yeah, they were black with a blue lip.
What a good first wheel.
Which was hectic. So right around that time, I got on Kansei Wheels, like before I could even remember, to your point of the question.
Yeah.
It's like, what was your first wheel you bought? I'm like, shit, RPF 1s. I'll go with RPF 1s.
There you go, yeah, that's a safe bet. All right, so what is one wheel that is popular among most, but you personally hate?
You know, 3-piece wheels are amazing, and it seems to be, you know, like the standard. And I have never had a set, so I'm just jealous. So I'm gonna go with all 3-piece wheels because I've never had any.
There we go. Yep, same. I'm right there with you. And the third one is, what is one wheel that is discontinued that you wish never was?
Probably those first Advents.
Really?
Like, I don't think can you buy those?
I don't think so.
They'll
correct us if we're wrong.
I never see those around anymore, but I love that. I see like RX-7s on them nowadays. Like, they're very rare. But like, you know, at all the SEMA and the conventions, I never see that style of wheel anymore.
All right, someone bring it back. And then what is your opinion on black wheels?
As a drifter, they're very easy to keep clean because they're always clean. But I will say, like, on my GR86, mine are like dark, like gunmetal.
Yeah.
And it really does limit kind of the look of angle. So I would say black wheels,
Really?
like if I have a bright white front and I'm maxed out at angle, you can really tell. If I have a black set of wheels, it gets lost in the tire.
Fair enough. All right, well, I appreciate it, dude.
Cheers.
If you want to give a little more introduction on who you are for anyone out there that may not know.
All right, so for those that don't know me, I am fabricator, builder, partner on the Jimmy Oaks YouTube channel. Ex-Honda boy.
Oh, yeah. Big Honda kid.
I mean, I would just say that I'm a product of my environment. I grew up in the projects, grew up in the hood. That's what I grew up around, just Hondas. So that's all I've ever known.
Absolutely. Even with drifting, I say it all the time. You kind of just like end up going with what's around you.
Yeah, exactly.
So like for me, I had Z's around me, so I wound up with a Z.
Yeah.
You know,
Same
concept there.
Same. I think it applies to almost everybody. I know Mustang guys that just they're into Mustangs because their parents were into Mustangs. So
Yeah.
it's just product of your environment, what you grow up around. Like even, you know, I grew up around street racing and drag racing.
Yeah.
You know, coming into drifting, it's fairly new to me. Probably within the past 3-4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Okay. I knew you hadn't drifted until driving Jimmy's car or whatever
Last year.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew you were fresh, but I didn't realize like.
Yeah,
You didn't even dabble into it
into the
in any
scene,
way.
into like motorsports. I was so closed off because I was so focused on drag racing and, you know, building a good name for myself and platform in that arena that I was so
Right.
close-minded off to other types of motorsports.
Yeah.
I'm saying it wasn't up until like I fell out of love for drag racing and Hondas. That's when like I
How
broadened
does
my
one
horizon.
fall out of love of drag racing?
I mean,
You see it all the time. People from the drag world or road racing world come to drifting. So
it's a little bit of the community kind of sucks. Not to take a dig at them, but I said they're a bit closed-minded. And I was a part of that for a long time.
yeah.
So that and just I hate repetition.
Okay.
And for a while, like I got so good at what I did that it became really repetitive.
Yeah.
And I wanted something different. I wanted something new.
I don't blame you there. That's why I got out of the corporate world.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing the same monotonous crap over
I
and
can't
over
do
again
it.
every day. And I'll
Nah.
lose my shit. Dude.
I like the
Dude,
challenge. I like challenging myself. I like trying new things. I'm not afraid to try new things. I think that's what's gotten me
Absolutely.
this far so far, is just not being afraid to just try whatever.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Well, I'm definitely no Honda kid. I will say that. I was never around Hondas. I was around Nissans my whole life.
Yeah.
So, you know, had a Sentra as my first car, and it just kind of trickled down from there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I still have a love for Hondas and an appreciation for Hondas. It's just, do I want to build another Honda? Absolutely not. I've built so many, and just it's not much to a Honda that impresses me anymore.
Yeah, I get that. All right, well, we'll get into all the Honda shit in a second. But tell me about like what happened because the car messed up a little bit.
Yeah, we're at Gridlife.
Not driving today. What's the situation?
The E36 was the first test session. Fresh swap, fresh build with a built 1J. We didn't have enough time to put a catch can on it, and we had a cracked valve cover, so it just started spewing oil everywhere. Got oil into the coil valley and a few misfires. Nothing serious, so we just called it on that, and then the black coupe shifter fell apart. Nothing we couldn't fix, but Jimmy was a bit burnt out from the past weeks of getting Tom's car done. It's just, he was kind of
I'm tired.
over
I
it.
want to go home.
Yeah, no, he's kind of over it.
I want to see my kid.
Just want to hang out with baby James and just
Absolutely.
can't blame him, man.
No,
like I
not
said,
at
it's
all.
for everyone outside of YouTube. It kind of makes it seem easy, but they really don't understand how much.
Especially in that world, like this is a conversation.
Yeah.
This is like, it's a lot of work to make happen, but dude, you have to be interesting every day of your life.
And our
doing that
upload
crap.
schedule is pretty stringent, so it's
Yeah.
every other day we're uploading a video, and for the most part, they're real time.
Yeah.
Nothing's done ahead of time. Nothing. We don't have a catalog of videos piled up. It's just real time. So what you're seeing is what we're doing.
Yeah, literally.
So it's a lot of work, and people don't understand. Like, almost goes back to that TV era where they'll see a full build series in one episode and think, oh my God, they did it so fast.
Absolutely.
Like, it's hours.
I've been saying that too. If someone can get to that level on YouTube and start doing that all in one episode, a full car build.
If you
Jesus
can
Christ,
plan
that'd be
out
insane.
and be able to take a step back from a regular upload schedule, you can do it.
Yeah.
But the algorithm doesn't reward that.
Not at all.
Like, you have to upload consistently in order to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Like, if you take a week off for vacation, the algorithm kills you.
Yeah, put you right in the trash bin
Yeah,
for
so and
a few
you see
months
you see
until
a lot
get
of
back
channels
to it.
take kids just because they went on vacation and their views would tank, and
Yeah.
it'll take a lot for them to come back up. And like, I'm not a YouTuber, but I've been around it for the past 2 years, and Jimmy, Grant, TJ, Salmon, like being around them and seeing how much work it takes. Hats off to them because it's not easy.
Right.
And like planning ahead, it's definitely a lot of work.
Planning ahead is probably the hardest
The biggest
part.
thing. Yeah, it's just planning ahead, staying on top of parts, making sure you order all the parts in order to keep the build moving in a good pace is probably the hardest part.
I don't understand how does the funding happen for all of that stuff? Like, obviously there's sponsor stuff, there's merch
Yeah,
stuff,
some
there's
guys,
monetization.
monetization, sponsors, brand deals, like you have to be able to pull a little bit of money from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure at like some points it's got to get to the point where you have to run off of like a line of credit in some
oh yeah,
places.
yeah,
to where
I'm sure
to
some
even
guys
fund half
yeah,
the shit.
It's insane. Like I said,
Good
hats off to
God,
them
dude.
because it's not easy.
It sounds like a massive headache if you ask me, bro. I don't know.
That's why
And here I am dabbling in it.
Yeah, no, that's why I enjoy the build side of it. I'm a builder at heart. I think I'll stay a builder at heart. Like,
I'll stick to right over here, I'm good.
don't get me wrong. Never say never. I'm not opposed to my own channel or anything. Like, never say never. But I'm just more focused on the builds and just doing that aspect of it. If it comes and it happens to line up with what I have going on, then it happens. But
Yeah,
it's not something.
It's not a set focus.
Yeah, it's not something I'm gonna just I'm done building. I'm just gonna become a YouTuber and do that. And not for me.
Dude, no. And it's funny because, like, you see some of these guys, like, leaving Hoonigan or leaving all these big places and
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like, winging it and starting their own channel and hoping it works.
Yeah.
Like the dude from Donut that just left and started his own channel. I can't remember his name. He's, like, the main
Yeah, I know
dude
he's
on camera. But, yeah, that's got to be brutal.
Yeah,
but at
no,
least you have something to kind of go off of, I guess.
And these guys have built a personality and they're pretty well known. So a lot of guys do survive
Yeah.
and they do end up doing good.
You
like I
don't
said.
think you would? I think you would. You're a character enough on camera.
I think I do all right. But like I said, I'm after the builds. I'm after the big, Mad Mike builds. Like, that's what I want to
yeah.
focus on. Like, I want, as a builder, I want those accolades. Like, I want to do the SEMA build. I want to bring a car to SEMA and just, I know SEMA's kind of lost its prestige a bit in the past few years. But as a builder and growing up in the 90s and seeing that and those pedestals, it's like, I still
Something
want
to
that
aim
notch
for.
on my belt. Like, I'm after the big, wild motorsports builds. Like, the YouTube stuff, if it comes on the side and I can have fun with it, cool, but
Yeah.
so,
Which now those builds are turning into YouTube builds.
Exactly.
Like,
I guess
you gotta have something nuts on YouTube for it to get any type of views.
Yeah, and like having the opportunity, like I just came from Japan, helping Samet with his build, and like having those kind of opportunities, I want to continue to do. Like if I can travel and help others with their builds, it's kind of. I mean, like I don't plan on leaving.
Whenever you went, I was like, that's a good like little opportunity.
Like I don't
there.
plan on leaving
Like,
Jimmy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not leaving Jimmy. Jimmy's my boy.
Don't get it wrong.
I'm loyal. But if those opportunities continue to present themselves, and I can travel and be a part of big crazy builds, like that's what I'm shooting for.
Why not?
Yeah, so.
Absolutely. Well, I want to get into a lot of those builds and stuff that you've gone through, done, on, I guess, doing now too. But one question I gotta ask: why do people call you Spoon? Like, what is the?
That's probably been the most asked question within like the past 3 months.
Cause like I assume it has maybe something to do with Honda stuff.
No, it has
really?
nothing to do with Hondas. Like, it was honestly just a friend's younger sister started calling me Spoon because I was skinny with a big head. And then I was already a Honda kid, so I just I was already a Honda kid, so I just let it rock and it stuck. And it's been
Wow.
Spoon A60 since like the forum days. Like,
Jeez.
yeah.
I just recently changed my Instagram name, like I think last year, but I had the nickname Kool-Aid Man since like 6th grade from some dude that just randomly called me it one day and it stuck.
And that's how most
I
people
was
get
like,
their
this
nicknames.
is a
It's
weird
just
ass
that,
nickname, but all right.
good for me. I grew into my head body proportion, so
Oh yeah.
no longer looking like a spoon.
Hey, you're not the only one. Everyone always told me I had a fat ass head as a kid. So
Yeah.
we all grew into it. That's funny though. I've always been curious. You've never mentioned that on the videos or anything?
I mentioned it
don't
on
think I've
Samet's
seen
video recently when we went to Spoon. I actually bought this as Spoon,
Oh,
which is
that's
sick.
ironic. Nice.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And we've mentioned it on Jimmy's channel here and there. And we, when I first started with Jimmy, we did a podcast for the Patreon that was just in depth, and I talked about it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a lot of everybody thinks it's because of the Honda kid and just Spoon Sports, but it had nothing to do with Spoon Sports.
Well, it sure fit well.
It fits good.
Jesus Christ.
And it's become just a personality ever since. Like,
Yeah.
For the most part, I introduce myself as Spoon. Unless it's like corporate partnership, then I'll give them my government. But for the most part, everybody just knows me as Spoon.
That's so funny. What is your actual name? if
Josue.
you want to- Okay.
Spanish for Joshua.
So where are you actually from then?
So
Is it?
I'm full.
I know
Puerto,
y'all.
I'm full Puerto
Okay.
Rican, but I was born in the States. Grew up in the States.
Okay. Because I knew there was a Puerto Rican aspect. Because I remember those little flags that y'all did.
Yeah.
Those
No,
are
I'm
sick.
full-blooded Puerto Rican. Just grew up in Connecticut.
Damn. So can you like speak full?
Yeah, I can speak Spanish.
Damn.
It's not perfect.
Dude, I want to learn Spanish so
Do
bad.
it. Have you been to Puerto Rico?
No.
So
I haven't even been
slept
out
on.
of the States.
So
man.
what?
Yeah. Tell me about it. I don't have a passport.
I mean,
don't
I
know
don't blame
anything.
you because up until the past year and a half, I've never left the States.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for
Grew up broke,
if it
dog,
wasn't
I
for
don't know.
Jimmy and working with Jimmy, like my first trip out of this country was to Ireland last year.
No shit.
So,
Wow.
and it's been insane since.
What a epic first trip.
Yeah,
dude.
no. So
That's-
I've been to
that's
Ireland
insane.
twice. I've been to Poland, went to Canada twice, and then just recently went to Japan.
No shit.
So yeah, no. My life in the past year and a half, it's been.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful, man. Don't get me wrong. But in the same aspect, I've worked my ass off my
Oh,
entire
yeah, you
life,
can
just
tell.
sharpening my craft and just trying to be who I am now. Like,
Nobody gets that good at fabricating by just starting yesterday.
yeah, and I
So-
think that's what a lot of people don't know about me. Like, I have a strong history of building cars, and like just having a mechanical background. Ever since I was little, it's just tinkering and just like I don't know what. Or there's no one in my life that influenced me. It was like ever since I could remember, it was just cars.
No
Just
shit.
attracted to cars. I had no one in my family, no one around me that influenced it. It's just
I was the
as
same
long
way.
as I could remember, it's just I didn't care about anything but cars.
Yeah.
So
My mom worked with repos and my dad worked with security cameras.
same, like it was just me. It was my mom and my two brothers, and just she was the first one into the States from Puerto Rico, just raising 3 boys in the '90s,
Yeah.
working her ass off to provide for us.
Do you think it's ironic that I feel like more people that are bigger, I guess, in the car scene have like I guess, an influence came from a family that wasn't really into cars or.
Oh, for sure. And it builds us and it builds character. Like,
Sorry,
it builds,
it's not his.
it builds us and it builds character. And like, I'm grateful for my upbringing. Like, I grew up in the hood, in the projects in the 90s, and it's taught me a lot of valuable lessons. And even back then, it was good because there was still a street code, there was still morals and respect, and like your word was your bond.
Yeah.
So it's
literally.
shaped a lot of who I am today. So I'm grateful for my upbringing, and I'm grateful for what it's made me. And like, I've had a rough life, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. What it just this is just me winging it off of a random question, but what would you say would your advice be to anyone, I guess, going through that at the moment, just trying to find their way in the motorsports world? We'll keep it on that topic.
I mean, into the motorsports world, just be passionate. Don't be afraid to try anything. Like, you're gonna fuck up. Like, as a fabricator, 90% of it is fucking up and finding a better way to do it.
Be patient.
Be patient.
Good Lord.
Yeah, no, like, every time I do something, the second time it comes out better.
Yeah.
You learn from your fuck ups. And I mean, I think that applies to life in general.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn from your fuck ups and you're never gonna make that mistake again. So don't be afraid to try anything. Don't be afraid to go for it.
Good shit. Absolutely. Sorry, we don't have to go too touchy.
No, I'm
I just
good.
wanted to ask that because that is a different.
I mean, I think that applies to anywhere in life.
Hit on,
yeah,
so.
no, I think that applies to anything in life.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's motorsports, whether it's, you know, your passions, just whether you're going through your daily struggle. Like, we're all struggling, we're all going through it, so.
God, especially right now. But no, I wanted to touch on your Japan trip. You mentioned before the podcast, this wasn't on here, but Japan is overhyped. What do you mean by that?
Japan is a bit overhyped. I mean, in my opinion, I was never really a Japan hype boy. Like, going into it, I was really open-minded, but I was never like I don't watch anime. I'm not a huge Initial D fan. Like, to me, like, it's a cool thing, but I don't know. It's just, it's a cool experience. I recommend everybody to do it if you can. Ebisu was sick. Ebisu was definitely worth the hype, especially North Course at night.
I feel like Ebisu's always going to exceed the expectation, but
Yeah.
I don't know about Japan itself, like
Yeah.
as a whole. Because I'm the same way. I don't watch anime. I'm not into the cartoon shit. Like, it's not my thing, but I love, like, the culture of Japan and the cars.
Exactly, and that's what I was
So,
hoping for. I
think Tokyo would be kind of like, oh, hi, all right, this is cool. Let's go back to
Shibuya,
Ebisu.
Shibuya was cool. Shibuya was cool. Like, that's which is their like,
Their Times Square.
their Times
almost,
Square.
yeah.
That was a ball. I had me and Sammy got drunk and had a blast there. So
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I really need to go. I have yet to.
and I
honestly,
put it on
I
your
have yet to
bucket
go
list.
out of
Definitely do it.
the country, but so actually, when would be the best time to go? Let me ask you that.
Spring or fall?
For the Matsuris, I assume.
Yeah. If you're into cars, if you're into drifting, I would definitely plan it around one of the Matsuris.
Yeah.
Spring is normally the one that everyone is really hyped about. Plus, you can do a bunch of the touristy. You got the cherry blossoms coming into
Right.
season and all that. So, spring was probably the best Matsuri to go to.
That's good. Because you went. This was in the
Summer
summer,
Matsuri,
so
yeah.
You were.
We got lucky.
Blistering out
No,
there.
we got lucky. The weather, there was a typhoon coming in, so it kind of cooled the weather down a bit. But the last 2 days there was 100+ degrees. It was not
Which
fun.
I got family from Arizona, so like 100+ degrees. I know what that feels like, but with their humidity,
Yeah.
good God, dude, I could not imagine.
I mean, some people was like, oh, 100+ degrees is nothing. Like, bro, I'm from the Northeast. Like,
Y'all built
85
different.
is scorching to us. Like,
That's a
yesterday,
heat wave.
yesterday was brutal, yeah.
Good God. Okay, well, what did you actually do for Salmon out there? For anyone that didn't watch his videos,
So, if you guys want to go back and watch them,
yeah, give the short version so they have to go watch it.
So he got an abandoned S15, bunch of rust, front strut towers. I pretty much cut full passenger side strut tower, tubs, inner and outer upper rail. Almost the same thing on the passenger side, and just replaced all the sheet metal, a bunch of sheet metal and fab work.
Just good old rush job.
Just good old rust job.
You seem to be getting a lot of those here recently,
I'm
right?
not. I mean, coming up. I
You got your
worked.
tetanus shots, right?
High school, I think, was the last time I got a tetanus shot. Listen, I've dealt with this enough.
I don't know how frequently you're even supposed to get that.
I think I've dealt with enough rust in my life that I'm kind of
Just immune to it?
immune to it. Yeah.
Nice.
Like coming up, I worked at a restoration shop, so I did a lot of rust repair.
Ooh.
But it's also like
No.
working at that restoration shop is like, because my first trade was auto body.
Okay.
Like going into high school, I went to a technical high school, and just my first trade was auto body painting. I was painting cars in my mom's driveway at 16.
Wait, you went to a technical high school?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Out here?
Oh yeah, especially in the Northeast.
Dude,
I wouldn't have made it in
what?
regular high school.
I barely did.
I guarantee I probably would have dropped.
Oh,
out.
I actually,
Like-
my GPA was a 3.2, but it wasn't my GPA. I tell you that much. I cheated my way all the way through high school.
Same. I guarantee academics was not my strong suit.
No.
Like, I was
hated
just-
the people. I hated the school.
Same.
Hated it all.
Same.
Oh, God.
I think like that's
I
for most
sucked.
car guys. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We're just not academically in tuned.
No. Give
It's
us
like-
a wrench. We're good.
That's it, yeah.
Dude, that's all we need.
So going to a technical high school is what got me through high school. Because we spent half of the year in shop, and then half of the year would be academics.
What academics do you even cover then?
Same thing
It's like
as
the
any
basic math and
Yeah, same thing
science
as any
crap.
other high school. It's just it'd be split. You do 3 weeks in academics, 3 weeks in shop, 3 weeks in academics,
God,
3
that would
weeks
be
in shop.
so much better. 'Cause you
Yeah.
could focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah. So it's what got me through high school.
Huh.
Trust me.
I wonder why that's not more common.
It is in the Northeast. I'm not sure where else in
I've,
the
like,
States is.
Never seen it in out west where my family,
No.
my dad's side is.
Yeah.
Out in Tennessee where I'm at, hell no. I've
Yeah,
never
no, it's
seen that
definitely a
shit.
norm, especially in Connecticut. Most high schools, for the most part, now are technical high schools.
Wow, you lucky bastards.
Yeah. And like my
That's
my
cool.
top two choices would be between electrical or auto body, and I ended up choosing auto body.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, because I worked in a body shop for a little bit. I didn't go to college. I
Yeah.
didn't go to any.
Which auto body anybody can learn.
College
It's just
is
a
a
lot of
scam.
patience.
Well, yeah.
Auto body is just a lot of patience and a lot of sanding.
Yeah. I didn't do any major stuff. I was really good at like getting the tape in like the weirdest areas to tape cars.
Yeah, everybody has
So
their
I was
niche.
really
Awesome.
good at
Yeah,
that, and then I didn't like bodywork. I didn't like fucking being covered in Bondo, so I would just do like the simple glaze
prep work,
jobs,
yeah.
you know, and mainly focused on the taping, and I was good. I didn't
Yes.
care to do anything else. That takes a different person.
Yeah. So working
Don't
at
know.
that body shop is cool. It kind of sparked like the fab side of me.
Yeah.
Just because
Okay.
in restoration you can't always get anything, so you end up making stuff from scratch. I got really good at sheet metal work, and I got really good at just making stuff from nothing.
When did you decide that like that was better than your average body work?
I mean, even aside from that, into like just drag racing, I was always intrigued of the piping and the nice TIG welds and all that stuff. So it always pulled me in. And the minute I started welding, it just sucked me in. Like, give me a welder and just, I'm happy.
I suck at welding. I'm so bad, dude.
Listen, if you want to get into drifting, learn how to weld and learn how to change tires.
Yeah. At least learn how to weld enough to where it'll stick. It ain't
Yeah,
gonna
MIG
look
weld.
Great. Don't look at my tube front. I'm telling you, it does not look great, but
It's
holds
together.
It's stout.
Yeah.
So whatever. Maybe one day I'll be make enough money to bring you out and have you redo it.
Nah, I'll give you some tips and tricks. You'll be good.
Shit. I just don't want to do it. Okay, well, let's dive into some of the Honda stuff. So actually, what was the first major Honda build that you actually dabbled into?
The one that really kicked it off, so I don't know if many of you know of Jamie Marsh, tuner,
Yeah,
Jay
I've heard of
Marsh.
him, yeah.
Yeah, he's been in Adam's videos. Getting him, he was a big Nissan kid, honestly, before me and him got together, and I've kind of kicked him into the Honda world. He saw the potential of the K series, and we built an EK the first time, and he got it to go fast, and then the predecessor to that was the Midori Green EG hatch called Omega K. And we built that. I did all the fab work, paint on it, full Midori green, beautiful car. I miss that car being all green. It's all mainly carbon now.
Yeah.
But, you know, between him and I think we kicked the back in an all-motor Honda racing. Like, he went out there and just started breaking record after record.
Jesus.
And just pushing the boundaries. Like, all-motor Honda drag racing is where it is today because of Jamie Marsh in that car.
How do you mean? Like, why?
Just the progression and the kick
how
that it
fast
needed.
it was?
Yeah, just like the times that we're doing now and like the times. Because back then it was really stagnant. You had mainly 3 or 4 people kind of in it going fast, and they were kind of cheating per se, just using different fuels. And Jamie really just came and just kicked the door down and just like
Here's how to kick ass the right way.
Yeah, and just blew it up and just pushed boundaries and just went faster and faster. Started developing heads, started developing fuel, and just like being a part of that was pretty sick and pretty cool.
How long did that car actually take to like build originally? I know it's gone through stages, I'm sure, but
I mean, the first time we actually put it together pretty quick. Luckily, all motor Hondas are simple. You can build it within a week or 2. Like the longest part, honestly, is just the
so
prep work.
if you had like the full setup for a K series, whatever Honda, and you just had it laying there, how fast do you think you could put it together if it's relatively bolt-on?
If it's already painted and everything, like the car's already painted, already
we'll go with painted already.
A day or 2 to put together a full
That's so funny.
air show rolling Honda to full running car. I can probably do it in a day or 2.
Wow.
I know
How much would you say that pile of parts probably cost?
Probably 50, 60K.
That's really not that bad.
Engine alone, I mean, if it's like a full drag setup and a very minimalistic car, is just, there's not much to the cars. And they're cut to nothing. They're light.
We should have stuck with Hondas more.
Nah.
So, okay, so they're ripping. So speaking of the Hondas then, what is your opinion? Because you came after Jimmy's Honda build, right? The Civic?
This Honda, yeah. I
Yeah.
came way after.
Okay. So what is your opinion on that car and the way they built that? And, like, would you have done it differently in any way?
Them not knowing the Honda platform, there was definitely an easier way to do it. Because of the all-wheel drive setups in Honda now, the rear end, you could have used a lot of factory Honda stuff. Like you used the CRV rear diff, you used like the OEM style trailing arms. So he wouldn't have had to cut the entire back half of the car.
That sucks.
But
to find
back
out,
when
I'm
he
sure.
did it, like that's how he didn't know.
Yeah.
So to him, it was easier putting an S13 subframe in the car and just cutting the whole rear of the car
Yeah, that's
apart.
what he knew. So,
Yeah. So like me looking at it now is just you get all-wheel drive conversion components, bolt them into the back of the stock Civic stuff, and you have rear-wheel drive.
Wow. Okay, so how relatively cheap would it be to just do a rear-wheel drive swap on a Civic? Because obviously you're going to have to do a lot of fabrication up front, too.
Yeah,
trans tunnel
but
and all
the
that
rear
crap,
stuff is relatively easy.
Wow, I did not know that.
Like the hardest part is finding a CRV, not CRV, a Wagavan true time rear differential.
Why would that be hard?
It's become extremely hard to find them. Like all the all-wheel drive Honda guys just snatch them up. Like you used to be
hoarding them
in your shop. You used to be able to buy a full Wagavan, Civic for $500 and just the rear end and everything is all the components are there. Now you can't find them.
Yeah.
Just because all the all-wheel drive craze is gotten pretty popular. Like I mean, you got all-wheel drive Civics now pushing the 6-second boundary in a quarter mile.
Yeah. So is all-wheel drive like just the next step for those cars then? Because like I feel like it just keeps getting capped and pushed to like, okay, well this, how much farther can you push the car? It's like,
I mean,
well,
you'd
guess we
be
need to change the whole
surprised because even
drivetrain.
like the sport front-wheel drive guys, they're going 7 seconds now. And like when I started when I started, a 9-second sport front-wheel drive car was fast.
Does it not feel like that? Tin cans just
Oh, yeah.
falling apart?
Yeah. And for the most part, they are tin cans.
Do you get hate and shit on the videos for like openly being excited about cutting a car up?
No.
Really?
I'm surprised. I
think you'd get
bro,
fucking slack for days.
I
on that.
love cutting cars apart. I
I would too.
am not scared to cut a car apart and it's metal, just weld it back together.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What?
Pussies. Whatever. Okay. Let's see. What the fuck?
Don't get me wrong, I've made enough mistakes so where I've had to eat carbon hoods of just winging it and carbon cutting things up. Like I've had to eat some shit.
How much money have you blown doing something like that?
I mean, you mess up a brand new carbon hood is $1,000 out the window, out of my pocket.
Wait, did you do that on one of the videos recently, or you told a story about it?
Yeah, I told a story about it.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Which one was that?
I was building
Was that that same hood?
No, I was building an EK for my buddy Joe. Got ahead of myself, put the hood pins in the wrong location. Yeah, I had to eat that hood.
Yeah. Damn, that would suck. Dude, I hate hood pins. I'll never do those again.
No?
No, absolutely. Not the arrow catch ones or whatever.
I prefer those over any other one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that was such a pain in the ass because the little bolt holes are like right next to the edge, so like you don't have much room.
If you're doing it in a metal hood, it sucks.
Yeah.
Fiberglass or carbon hood, cake work.
I can see that actually. Damn. Yeah. No, and especially the Z's because you have like if the factory core support's there, you have one spot
Yeah.
that you can put the latches.
And that's
or
the hardest part is
little-
finding like the
bolt or whatever.
E36, almost impossible to put hood latches in.
Really?
I had to modify the actual pin to sit so low that it barely catches.
You have to keep tap it even further up.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, E36 aero catch latches, not fun.
Yeah, I use those silly little Amazon ones for like my rear bumper and the
Oh,
rear
the
of
quick
side
latches?
skirts. Yeah, and they're great, but like they pop out super easy.
That's the problem with the
and-
Amazon ones.
Yeah,
like if you
they're
buy the
junk,
actual
dude.
quick latch ones,
Yeah.
they're $30 a piece, so it adds up.
Oh.
That's all I use for like when I was building all the drag race Civics and stuff, because that's what we use for the front
Yeah.
bumpers and stuff. It adds up quick, but you have to use the actual quick latch ones,
Yeah.
and they're not cheap.
Fuck. I guess. I've always hated them though. I hate the look of them. Is the problem.
Yeah.
Because especially having a white car, you know, these things.
Oh, so
I've
you
tried
just
to
think-
like
yeah.
hide it in the livery a little bit to where you don't really notice it, but
So I just tell
just
people,
bothers me,
mount your
man.
arrow. Use the factory mounting locations. Everybody wants to do the quick latch stuff. Mount your arrow. Just
I
9
don't
bolt
have
it.
any of the factory mounting location. Is the
Oh,
problem.
okay.
And I run KBD too, so it's a little bit like if I did mount it to factory location, it's still gonna flop a little
Okay.
bit because it's got such flexibility. So you still have to like brace it in certain areas, which brace your KBD kit. It looks stupid when your front bumper's doing this.
That's a huge
Oh,
pet
I
peeve.
hate that.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Oh, it's so easy. Just grab some sticks of aluminum or
And that's
something
it.
and
Mount your
bend
arrow.
some shit.
Like I'm tired of seeing bumpers get ripped off and get blown up on track
yeah.
just because you had zip ties holding it.
So okay, well, then explain that because a lot of the style guys, the like snobby style guys,
Yeah.
they'll like loose mount their bumpers.
Yeah,
with,
they
like,
think-
2 zip ties just so it'll fly off and stay in one piece.
Yeah, they think it's easy. It's better for it to fly off than for it to get,
That doesn't make sense.
doesn't. Because the guy behind you is gonna blow your bumper apart the minute
Yeah, exactly. Or you're just gonna sling it into a tire wall,
Yeah.
or whatever wall, K-rail,
Like you'd
whatever.
be surprised how much abuse fiberglass can take. It's not gonna blow apart. It'll probably crack. It'll probably a few stress cracks here and there, but it's gonna stay together.
Yeah.
People think it's gonna blow apart. No, it's gonna blow apart when the guy behind you rails it at 40 miles an hour.
You'll really be crying because you spent thousands of dollars and waited months for that kit.
Just because you're too lazy to mount it
Oh yeah.
or too cheap to use zip ties.
Fucking bastards.
I mean, I said it. I mean, look at Jimmy's car. Like I hard mounted everything, and for the most part, every body panel on that car is still together.
Yeah.
Like
You gotta do
it's got
small
some
patch
yeah, it's
jobs,
got
but
some
that's about
cracks
it.
and it's got some few things from him hitting other cars or other cars hitting him, but every panel is still on the car.
Absolutely. It stays intact. Well, speaking of like the patch jobs and stuff, what is your advice for anyone working with fiberglass? Because me personally, I won't touch it.
It's
I hate
it's
it. I'll do like small minor stuff, but
It's not
just
hard.
Horrifying.
it's itchy and it sucks, but it's not hard to work with. Use heat. It moves a lot more than you think. Like
Really?
Oh yeah. Just a
Huh.
heat gun, heat up a corner. You'd be surprised how easy it moves, and like to get it to line up. I think that's the hardest part. Like most people think, oh, it always sucks. It doesn't line up. It fits like crap. Leave it in the sun when you first get like a fresh kit. Let it kind of like just relax.
Yeah.
Mount it on the car, and just wherever you need to move it or any mounting locations, use a little bit of heat, and it moves a lot
No
easier than people
shit.
think.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Wow. Because I've always just pictured fiberglass. It's like, that's a solid unit.
Nah.
This shit ain't going.
A little bit of heat
nowhere.
and it moves a lot.
What the fuck?
See, everybody's mind blown when I tell them that. And then they try and they're like, oh shit.
I want to try that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like straight up. Because I have a, one of my rear quarters is like, when I mounted it, I like mounted these bitches sloppy and fast as fuck. I didn't care. And it's like, it was kinked up a little bit, so we had to like kind of flex it a little bit, and then it had a binding point that kind of poked out, and
Yep.
it cracked right there as soon as it tapped something.
Yeah.
So I need to adjust that. I might use that technique for
Yeah,
that.
a little bit of heat and it'll move.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Wow.
And that
Okay.
all stems from like all the Honda builds and just there's so many shitty fiberglass companies out there.
Well,
Like-
speaking of that, let's make some of the hot boy people mad. What's the worst kit you've ever had to deal with?
Origin.
That's a hot.
And I
button
know
right
that's
there.
a hot point. Origin fits like shit. Can you get it to fit good? Yes.
Why?
But
like, where is it?
The problem with
What's the-
Origin is it's 90% gel coat and like 10% fiberglass.
Oh, really?
Like there's
Does that make
no-
it more flexible at all, or does it make it stiffer?
No, it makes it more brittle.
Oh.
So you end up having corners chip off. Like you'll see the gel coat just literally break right off, especially around the side skirts and stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Like Origin is not that great, and I understand there's a whole cult following to Origin.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy doesn't want to run anything but Origin. Not for me. Not for me.
So what do you say when he's like, "I'm about to order this Origin kit for this car"?
For drift cars, it's great. Don't get me wrong. For drift cars, it works,
Yeah.
but it doesn't fit
Other
great.
than that, stay away from it.
Not great quality. Like TJ stuff, the Street Hunter stuff, phenomenal quality.
It looks like it.
Like the quality of the fiberglass, probably the best quality fiberglass
He is
I've
like
seen.
the guy to be doing that.
Yeah.
Because he's so meticulous with his kit. He grew
Yeah.
up being the bags
That-
and wide body guy.
Exactly.
So like, that's.
And we
fun.
did the Street Hunter FRS recently, and the kit fit great.
Is that? Would you say that's probably the best fiberglass kit you've had to deal with?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
As far as like,
Made in the
don't get me
US,
wrong,
baby.
all fiberglass sucks. All fiberglass needs some work, some trimming, some fitting.
Right. Right.
It's not perfect by any means, but so far to this day, that's probably been the easiest and nicest kit we fit.
Yeah. I hate the backlash that body kit companies get for their fitment, because like it's coming out of a mold that's
Coming
been
out of a mold.
used a million.
That's
fucking
that's
times.
somebody
Like, come on,
probably
dude.
handmade.
Yeah,
Like it's gotten easier today, especially with like 3D printing and 3D scanning. Like a lot of the molds have gotten a lot better,
Yeah.
and the technology behind wide body kits has gotten a lot better. But especially the older stuff, like bro, somebody handmade that mold. Like,
Especially if you're ordering it from Japan, dude. It's some
I've had
tiny
fenders
shop,
that
few
were
dudes.
5 mil wider on one side than the other side.
No way.
Yeah, just because handmade molds, just old body kits.
Wow. Ooh. That's a little. Who was that? You ain't got to say it. if
Old
you want
Honda
to.
company, I can't remember.
Oh, that's fair. Well, what is your opinion on the KBD stuff then? Since it's
I'm not too familiar with 'em.
Okay. So,
Like I've seen a little bit of it. I've seen like the flexibility and stuff of it.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with it. I haven't touched it or worked with it, so I can't say.
Yeah, just no opinion.
Nah.
That's fair. All right. Well, we ain't got to touch on that. I love it just because of the durability of it. But there are some faults, of course, just like every other kit, where you have to mount it extra.
Yeah.
But like.
But
you're
I think
gonna be
that's
doing
what
that anyways.
I think that's what
So,
any
like,
body
it's
kit.
just insane to me.
That's what any body kit, especially all these aftermarket big wide body kits. You should add some extra bracing if you don't want it to blow apart.
Absolutely. Yeah, which it'll never blow apart. There's actually a video of Osoli nudging up against someone, and his bumper rubs their front steer, and it just sucks it up under his car, and the bumper just shoots out, and then it lands,
And it's
it falls
still-
back to
yeah.
normal, and it's like, what in the hell?
No, that's like, but all the Kevlar stuff is
That stuff is
that's
gnarly.
just it's different. Like I'm a huge European drift guy, like drift
Yeah.
fan, like Drift Masters, all the European guys, and just all the Kevlar. And you see those guys put the rear end into the wall, and the minute they come off the wall, it just boop.
literally right back to where it's supposed
But
to
it's
be.
also 3-4 times the price of regular fiberglass.
Yeah, I mean, with like my front bumper, whenever I pull it on the trailer and stuff, my ratchet straps, I go to the control arms. So they'll like if I don't have the car like perfectly centered on my trailer, the ratchet straps will kind of like bend up on the front bumper a little bit, and you'll see the little crease. And like Kevlar, carbon Kevlar, it will automatically go back to normal. Like as soon as you loosen that strap. KBD, you still gotta like, it's poly, so it's gotta be heated up a little bit
heat,
to
and then
form
it goes
back to
back,
normal. But as soon as you're in the sun anyway, so just let it sit in the pits for a couple minutes and you're fine.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, but have you ever had to work with Kevlar stuff on a car you're building?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Is there any like plan to at all?
I hope so.
Oh, no, like set plan, just hopes.
I just hopes.
I'm curious what
Jimmy's
it takes to
pro-
actually
Jim-
mount one.
Jim, it's the same as fiberglass.
Yeah.
It's the same as. It's no different than fiberglass and carbon fiber. It's just a lot more flexible and durable.
I'm sure I would expect a mold to something like that to be a lot better.
It's probably the same mold.
More direct.
It's probably the same mold.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so
It's just all in the material. The molds are the same, so it's just all in the material.
they'll use
that
the
you
same exact mold for different materials.
Yeah.
Like not even separate molds,
Yeah.
but they're exactly the same.
Like the processes with the materials are a bit different, but the molds are exactly the same.
Wow. Damn.
Like to have shiny carbon parts, it's just all in the gel coat that you use and making sure you lay it up right and having that perfect
Huh.
weave pattern in the carbon if you want to show exposed carbon. But in the molds, it's all the same thing.
What's your favorite
just-
pattern?
I hate carbon.
Oh, well, I agree. I'm not a
I've
big
done
fan of
so much carbon work that I absolutely hate carbon.
Solid. I'm here for that.
I'm
Hell yeah.
so-
I'm not a big fan of. Never have been.
Nope.
I don't like,
I like-
especially when
I
people
am-
do the whole like let's line the car in
Nope.
carbon.
I
Why?
like
Why?
full.
Paint match it.
Yep. Well, full one color.
Yeah.
Like I've done so much carbon work. It's
Finally.
just, I hate carbon. I get the functionality of it. It's light, it's durable, cool, but the
Yeah.
actual visual aesthetic of it, nah, I'm good. Paint your carbon.
Nope. Okay. All right. Well, we don't got to talk about bodywork stuff no more. From as far as your own personal cars that you've had, what is one that you miss as far as the Hondas that you've built for yourself?
The funnest,
the most.
funnest street car I've ever had was a white EG Coupe with a K20 swap.
Ooh.
It's just a simple K20 Z3 out of 08 SI, LSD.
Why was that your favorite?
It's just fun.
simple and good.
I beat the piss out of that car day in and day out. It was funny because my buddy, my best friend, like my brother Jerry, had a similar white coupe, K-swapped, and we worked same company, just opposite shifts. I'd work at night, he'd work during the day. Every day, flying down the highway. They call him, bro, slow down. Where are you going? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm at work. It's like, I just saw a white coupe flying down 91. He goes, oh, that was Spoon.
Ah! Come on, you should know by now.
Yeah, no, that was the funnest street car I've ever had. It was so simple. It was just literally stock K20 swap.
You still lived up here, right?
Yeah, no, I've lived in
Oh,
Connecticut
dude,
my whole
I bet
life.
that was fun.
Yeah.
I was driving around, even in my truck, dude. I'm like, this is.
Oh, yeah, no, the
Awesome.
back roads up here are incredible.
It's,
like, that's
I
why,
did not expect it.
Like, it's an hour drive to get up to Lime Rock for me, but the drive is just the best.
It's all back roads. So good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, yeah. But by far, Honda, yeah, that was probably my favorite Honda car that I've owned. Like, I've had so many EG hatches. I've had so many EG coupes. Like, I just had a K-Swap CRX. It's just...
Damn. I saw the cleanest CRX in California while I was there for the Kansei Pod, the 100th episode. It was like, I mean, fully OEM, but I think it had some like Motegi wheels on it. Just barely lowered, but nice and subtle. Had the front bumper bras and the hood bras and stuff. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no,
You'll
CRX.
never see that ever again.
This is another hot take. Don't put a K-Series in a CRX.
Mm.
It's too big. Doesn't.
Oh, really?
It makes the car not enjoyable to drive.
Just too much over the front?
Yeah. Put a B-Series in. Like, CRXs belong with the B-Series. I'm a big B-Series guy. Don't get me wrong, I have a K-Series. I have K-Series in my drift car. It's just
What's the
like-
discrepancy between the B-Series and K-Series thing? Is that
It's just newer technology. Like, the K is just an evolved, better version of the B-Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't. personally, I'm not a Honda. I don't know shit about Honda.
B series is just OG, daddy, dual cam, VTEC, like.
Yeah.
And
I know
just-
that one.
And then just K series is just the better version of it.
There's like B18, B20.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different
There's, like,
variations. Same thing with the K series.
everything.
There's a bunch of different variations to it.
What is like what'd you say the top dog one of each one is? The B series and the K series.
B18C is the Type R.
Okay.
Which
Does
is-
is it more internal stuff? Like
Yeah,
in the engine?
it's just a little bit higher compression, better cams, better head,
Oh, okay.
better
Makes
head
sense.
work. It's just the same thing. K series. What everybody goes for the K series is the K24A2 out of the TSX, or like the JDM K24A is just bigger displacement. That's what everybody pretty much swaps into their stuff. I like the K20s preferably, just because you can rev them higher and they take boost better.
Really?
Yeah. And now with the 24, you end up having more torque, so you end up breaking shit.
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna be a little selfish here. If you were to swap a K series into an FC, which one would you do?
K series into an FC.
Yeah, rear wheel drive swapping it.
What's the car purpose?
It would be a very clean, fun street car that could drift.
K24.
K20A or
K24A2.
oh K24A. Okay. Because I've been trying to like decide what I want that car to be, and what I'm thinking. So I used to have a Jetta with a VR6 in it.
Okay.
I love that fucking car. One of the best sounding motors ever for some reason. I don't understand it.
Not a Volkswagen guy.
I mean, I feel that. No, I feel that. But the motor was just like blew me away. So I've contemplated either doing a VR6 swap or a K-Series swap. I want to do some type of 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the problem with the VR6 swap is probably not having enough support to do the
Right,
rear
right.
drive swap with it. K series, there's so many adapter plates and there's so many adapter companies that it probably make it a lot easier to do the K
kind of
swap.
like you, I like the challenge.
challenge?
That's why I did the RB and the Z, because nobody makes mounts for it and shit. I had to make all my own crap.
Oh,
So-
you're a big RV guy.
Well, now I am.
Now you are. Yeah.
Now I am. I was a big JZ guy. 1J has always been my favorite motor. It probably always will be.
Probably the
But-
best drift motor there is.
Oh, yeah.
1J is just
It's-
I've never seen an engine take as much of a beating as a 1J.
That and just the sound alone
Yeah.
of one is incredible to me. So
I've grown to like RBs more this past year. I was never a huge RB fan.
see, I was always skeptical of them.
Same.
Until I saw my buddy that had my RB before me, and I've never seen someone beat the brakes off of an RB more than him when he had it, because he wasn't an RB guy. He didn't give a shit about the RB. So he was like, I don't care if it blows up or not.
I think that's what makes the perfect RB guy. If you don't care.
Right, dude. Exactly. And it had never been open, so it had all the JD and
Yeah,
magic.
juju in it, so in it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, keep it all in there. Just take it out and put it in there.
Right.
So that's what I did.
How has it been in the Z?
Not bad. You can definitely feel the difference.
Yeah.
In it.
Is it nose heavy at all, or?
A little bit, because it's longer of a motor, but
Yeah.
they're surprisingly about the same weight as a VQ.
Oh, okay.
So like it's not much changing up front, other than it's pushed over the front subframe
A little more.
bit more. So you can kind of, it feels like the car almost drives around the front, no matter how much grip you take out of the front.
Yeah,
either
okay,
way.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the only difference. But I was telling Hurt, because he was asking me, because he was wanting to, I guess, thinking about putting an RB in a Z. So I was like, well, do this instead. Go rear sump on the engine, and you should be able to push it far enough back to where, because you've got like 5 or 6 inches behind
Right.
the engine to play with until you get to the false firewall.
Okay.
So you could cut the false firewall out and have even more room. But if you push it back that much farther, the factory engine mounts will line up almost perfectly with the subframe mounts for the VQ.
Yeah.
So it would work out better that way. And you have the money to do it. I don't. So like that would be ideal. You may have to modify and like notch the subframe just a hair,
Yeah.
but like that would be it. And it would be cake, and it would sit a lot further back. Your center
Center of
weight
gravity, yeah.
distribution or whatever all that is. I'm no fucking nerd in that crap, that's for sure. So
I'm a little bit of a nerd in that.
well, you can explain it then, because I have no idea. But But yeah, it would be way better that way. But I'm not like. I like drifting because it's a rolling car show.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't really care how fast the car necessarily
Nah.
is. Shit like that. I want it to
Yeah,
be cool.
Everybody
look
has their
cool,
own
sound cool.
different taste and style when it comes to drifting.
Yeah.
Like some people are just about the lifestyle of it and just like the flashy, having fun, hanging out with your boys. Some people are a little bit more competitive.
Yeah. I used to be too competitive, and I feel like if I bring that into this, it's gonna wear me out.
It'll take the fun out of it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I've
I don't
seen
wanna
it.
do that.
I've seen it firsthand. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, at some point in my life, I do want to compete, especially in drifting. Like, I'm still new to it, so the first couple of years is just gonna be having fun and
you're
just
still getting your feet wet.
learning. Yeah, exactly. Getting my feet wet, learning, just. But there is a part of me that does want to compete, and at some point, I am gonna want to push that side of me.
Absolutely. I'm stoked to see. That's actually one of the questions, but before we jump into that and go, because I have a few more questions with that, let's get a little bit more context. So, like, whenever leaving the whole Honda stuff and kind of coming aboard with Jimmy, because Jimmy's where the drifting started for you.
Yeah, that's where it
pretty
came in
much.
for me. That's like my first drift experience was him giving me a ride in the Black Coupe.
Exactly. And you actually did great, by the way. That was very surprising how well you did.
Oh, me driving
that first day, yeah.
Yeah.
That insane how well you did. But no, first, like, how did the idea of you even coming aboard with Jimmy come about? Like, what was?
Well, I mean, me and Jimmy just met up just through mutual friends. Like, where we are in Wallingford, we call it North Industrial Raceway.
Okay.
Just because there's a shit ton of car guys and just a bunch of different shops and just a bunch of different people all in that one area. So having a bunch of mutual friends, Jimmy always needing work or needing somebody to do something for him. Like, our buddy Justin's like, hey, hit up Spoon. He'll take care of you. Like, you and him will get along perfect. Like,
Yeah, because he got some exhausts and stuff done from you.
yeah, that was like the
back
first
in
things
day.
that I did for him was like the Chaser exhaust, and then it was like the exhaust on his Honda.
Right.
Like doing the full
Okay, yeah,
when
yeah.
he put the built motor in it.
I bet you he brought that thing over there, and you were like, you fucking idiot.
It was like the exhaust you have isn't gonna work. Like, let me just make you a full new downpipe and just full exhaust. Like, and he was skeptical. He trusted me. Knocked that out of the park. He was fucking happy, and it was like we toyed around with the idea of like, oh yeah, you should just come work with me and do this YouTube stuff and just
kinda
come
like
build cars with
joking
me.
around
And it's
with you
like,
first.
and we joked around with it for a while, for about a year. We just joked back and forth. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll come up. And then it got to a point where he was burnt out, just doing everything himself. And I was over the Honda scene. I was over drag racing, and it's like I was tired of the monotonous and just same thing over and over. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. It's like, I'll stop taking in work. I'll finish the work that I have and just
That's crazy.
let's do it. And then,
So, if you don't have to like touch on any of this topic, like, how much were you making back then, taking on those jobs?
I mean, like I said, I built a very well reputation. So
Yeah.
I had plenty of work. Like, I was shy of work I didn't have.
Yeah.
It's just, I was just tired of the monotonous of it. Like,
That's fair. Yeah.
the harder I worked, the more money I could make. But it was just the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the money thing. It was just me being bored and me wanting a new challenge in life and just trying to switch it up. So I definitely took a pay cut going with Jimmy. But the life experiences and like the community and the camaraderie around everything is just oversees the money.
I get that, absolutely.
And like
This that's what people ask me for advice a lot of the times on like media stuff, which personally I don't know why. Like, I'm not an amazing media guy. Like, I make money doing it. I just want to make a living. Like, that's it. But people always ask me like, you seem like you've got it kind of together or whatever. But I'm like, I don't. The only thing is I value what I do more than the money.
Yeah.
The money is just a part of it. Like,
as long
it's
as I can
gonna
pay
come,
my
whatever.
bills and buy car parts here and there, it's like everything else will come.
Yeah.
Just enjoy doing what I do.
Absolutely. Well, again, you don't have to answer this question either. But what is like the average pay, I guess, for a YouTube mechanic? Like, is that even?
I mean, honestly, I haven't asked other YouTube mechanics what they get paid, so I honestly don't know. Like,
And I'm not trying to like throw
No,
out
I-
Jimmy's stuff or your stuff or anything. So that's why I said you don't have to answer that at all.
I definitely took a pay cut leaving. Like, I was working for myself. I took a pay cut coming out to Jimmy, but Jimmy treats me fairly well. I think I make a decent living. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still a 9 to 5. I still get a paycheck at the end of the day. Like, I got no.
Yeah,
skin
that's
in-
what I'm trying to.
I have no
It's
skin
like
in
it's
the
still a
game when it
job.
comes to the channel. Like, I don't get any revenue from the channel or merch or any of that. Like,
Correct.
I get a paycheck at the end of the day just like anybody else.
Yeah.
So he treats me good. I get paid fairly okay.
Yeah.
Like, obviously in life we all want to make more money and
Yeah.
whatever, but
I just know from an outsider, it looks so glamorous and like so put together to everyone, even for your aspect of the
Yeah.
channel. Like Jimmy, yeah, too. But I like to point this stuff out to like so people realize like
I'm not.
they're not rich. Like
Yeah,
none
I'm-
of us are fucking rich,
not at
bro.
all.
Like we barely make it by.
Especially
We
in
just
today's
have
economy, don't get
cool
me wrong. Like,
experiences.
especially with today's economy, it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go buy a GTR right now. I can't go buy.
I fucking wish.
Yeah, no, but I can pay the bills at the end of the day. Got a little bit of money to build my drift car. Definitely, sponsors have jumped on and helped, so it's helped a lot.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
so when it comes to pay, it's no different. It's
What sponsors have jumped on?
TF Works, huge
I know
support from
FDF
TF
helped you out
Works.
a little bit.
FDF helped out. BC, Haltech took care of me. Haltech's blessed me so much.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
Deech Works, BC, TF Works, FDF, probably been the biggest ones.
Hell yeah. Just with like parts and stuff mainly for
Yeah,
the car.
parts and just help and
That's so
support, which is insane. Like, building the car, like, I never expected to
Yeah.
go this crazy.
How did those happen? Was it just like they were like, dude, can I just like help you?
That's Jimmy. Jimmy helping me out and just
Oh, no
seeing the
shit.
passion that I have for
That's so
the build
awesome,
and
dude.
just, him talk to his sponsors like, hey, this is a good opportunity. Somebody learning how to drift, like, if they wanted to support and come on board,
Yeah.
help me on my journey.
Dude, that's epic. It's cool to see because you are so new to it, but you come from a motorsports background, so like the industry-ish and how it like kind of works. But no, I'm stoked for you. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, like, when it came to building the drift car, like, you were talking to me earlier, like, why the A6? Like, why that platform? I was like, I'm not an S chassis guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not an S chassis guy. I'm not a Z guy. Like, the A6 was the only thing that I was, like, aesthetically drawn towards.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate the way they look.
Really?
If they just roll off the lot, it's one of the most hideous cars ever, dude. I hate it, dude. It's so bad. I don't know what it is. The front end looks good, but it's when you get to the rear, the body just like
She got no butt.
disappears.
She got no butt.
Exactly. It's just like there's nothing there. So it's very odd looking. I don't know.
I find it the opposite. Like, I hate Z's.
Oh, I hate them too. Don't get me wrong.
I have
It's just a computer mouse. Like they look hideous, but they were.
And I'm not
a
a
$600 car. you
Yeah.
know?
I'm not an S chassis guy either. Like, don't get me wrong. I like S chassis. They're just overhyped.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've never owned
Nah.
one. Don't really care to.
Not paying
The
the
day
amount
happens
of
where I can
money
own-
people were asking for.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Jimmy's coupe with the Sylvia front, the brakes.
Yeah.
That is my ideal
PS13.
S13.
Yeah.
If I ever bought an S chassis.
Nah, for
But,
sure.
Nah, I'm good. I'm
That's
just good.
definitely, to this day, that's probably still one of my favorite cars, especially when I resurrected it from the dead, like after
Yeah.
the big first hit that I tubed the front end, and like I have pictures of when I went OD on that car. Especially I made the Origin stuff look phenomenal. Origin, you still owe me a bag for that. Like that
Oh,
car
my
looked,
percentage.
that car looked way too good, and I went way too ham. And look at it now. I learned my lesson though.
Yeah.
I'll never go that hard again on a drift car.
There's no need to. Just slap that thing together and call it a day. Okay, well, tell me about that first track day where you actually got to go out and drift a little bit. You drove the E30 mainly.
Yeah,
right?
it was mainly the E30. The Z I drove a little bit. It's too twitchy for me, especially with the FDF
Yeah.
stuff on it. Like, it's too much for a Z. just because it's so underpowered. It's
That's
too much
fair, yeah.
angle.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
wait, what kit does he have on it?
FDF.
Oh, you just said that, duh.
It's got a full FDF kit on it. And for a Z, you don't like. I drove my buddy
It
Gary's.
is way too much angle.
Yeah,
It's
I edited it so
unnecessary.
it doesn't have the power to pull itself out of it.
Yeah.
So it ends up being really twitchy.
Even with the FDF on it, that's crazy. You would have hated it with the GK Tech stuff, the Super Lock kit.
Yeah, really.
It is extremely twitchy.
Cause I drove when I went to Ireland, I drove my buddy Gary's Z, and it's literally got a small angle kit adapter on it, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of extra lock, and that car was fun to drive.
Yeah. With the little tiny kit, it doesn't change much.
Yeah, no, it's
But
just enough lock
that-
to get you around
I
the
don't
corner.
know what it is about the Super Lock kit, but you can get really good fitment with it.
Yeah.
Whenever you got factory fenders and stuff, which I like that part. But no, it's like I never drove with the steering wheel like hardly at all. Like I don't have to flick, I don't have to do anything when I had that kit. You just let off the gas and let off the wheel. It rotates. You just catch it. That's it.
Yeah.
And you just kind of sit there and hover it whenever you drive, and you're just feathering the gas. But it was like, it made transitions so fast for no reason, and that's what was like the downfall of that kit
Yep.
to me, because it just, I liked the twitchiness, but it like multiplied it by 10.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. So I couldn't do that, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So the 830 was fun. Prior to that first track day, I had a little bit of sim practice, which it definitely translated a lot. Like learning on a sim, it's extremely frustrating to learn on a sim, but it does translate to life really well.
Yeah.
So going into that first track day, I was surprised how well I did. I was not expecting that.
How many hours do you think you had on the sim to test or practice or whatever?
Less than 20. Like it wasn't a lot.
Cakewalk.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of hours.
What kind
on
of
the
sim was it? Was it
It's
like,
a cheap Thrustmaster, like nothing
Oh,
fancy.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
nothing
Dude, those
fancy.
are-
On a
I
subtle.
hate sims personally for me because I started in the car. So, like,
yeah, starting
I
in a
would
car
have
and
to
going
sit there forever.
starting in a
practicing the
car
sim.
and then going to a sim is extremely difficult because you don't have
Yeah.
all the senses that you're used to. So it makes it extremely frustrating.
very.
And everyone says that they hate it, they can't do it.
yeah, and then you throw the VR on, and it makes you sick in 2
Yeah,
minutes.
I can't do it. Well, that was
That's
the problem. Like when I
horrible.
first started with the sim, was like it made me motion sick so fast.
Yeah.
So I ended up just doing a bunch of grip racing on the sim and just driving F1 cars on the sim, and then I slowly tried to drift it.
Yeah, my buddies, I'll like, if they're on it, I'll have to like go jump on it for like a couple minutes, get up, go walk around for a second,
Catch your breath, get something to drink.
take some deep breaths so I don't puke all over myself.
Yeah, no, it took me a while
Then
to
go try
get
it
over
again. Just keep getting back into it, but no, I hate it, dude. It's
But
bad.
no, if you start in a sim, it definitely does translate to life really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I would recommend that to anybody. Start on a sim. It's the cheapest way to get into it. Any form of motorsport, whether it's grip racing, whether it's drifting, whether it's anything.
Yeah, yeah. And then you'll get the people in the comments that'll be like, "Stop being a pussy. Just go buy a car. Be a real man." It's like, okay. You definitely don't have the money to go do that either.
Exactly.
Like, come on now. Oh my god. Okay, so but no, the E30 and that track day, at the end of the day, like, or no, let me ask you this: how many laps did it take you to actually link the entire thing? Because it didn't seem like many on camera, obviously.
Probably like half
but-
I mean, we were there for probably 4.5 hours. We weren't there for long.
Uh-huh.
We got getting like Jersey. I love Jersey. Is just going from Connecticut to Jersey, depending on traffic, is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely love E-Town. I love Chris Knapp, East Coast Drift School. The best. It's just getting there from Connecticut. It's the absolute worst. So we were there 4 hours. I probably 2.5 hours.
Mm.
And we were like, I think all of us for the most part, me, RJ, and Austin, were linking the track about halfway through it.
That's so sick, dude. What was like? Was there anything that really held you up at all when you first got in a real car?
Understanding the timing, like timing
Like
with the
timing transitions and
transitions
stuff,
and
yeah.
like when to go on throttle, counter steering. Like, the minute I understood that, I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Counter steering was a hard one to understand
Yeah.
for me, because especially when you start pushing the limits a little bit, you really have to counter steer to get your car to like float
Exactly.
and stuff. So
I think that was the hardest part. Like, that's what, once I got that, that's when everything clicked.
yeah, that's, dude, I swear that's everyone's biggest downfall in the beginning, because you'll see them whenever they first start, they'll go just like creep up to the first turn, and then they'll like barely clutch kick it, and then it just loops around, because there's no momentum at all that you can use to counter steer to get you to float and then settle the car and drive.
I mean, I still struggle with that too. It's just like committing on entry is probably the hardest thing for me still. It's like trusting the car is gonna work.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like how fast to go on entry, and like that's still also all stuff that I have to work on.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, well, with what you picked it up pretty quick, so like with what little you already have learned from drifting, what are you using to implement into the car to make the car setup amazing for when it's done? Like, is there anything you're...
So what most people think is like, I went to that drift day and then, I want to buy a car. But me buying the car was already...
I assume there was already like something...
It was already set up for me to pick up that car like weeks prior to going to that test day.
Why else would you be there that day?
Yeah,
driving?
people think like, we went
to
to that test day and then I'm going to go buy a car tomorrow. Like, it was already in the works for me to buy the car. Like, I was already wanting to get into it. It's just,
For me, no. I went to the track day, and then the next weekend I bought it. I was like, I got to do this.
So, no, like, it was already, like, I already had the itch to build a car prior to that. And then, like, everyone asked me, was like, why build a car when I buy a car? I was like, bro, I'm struggling just like everybody else. I just know I can build a car from nothing.
I mean, in your
like,
case,
if I had the option to go buy a car,
why would you buy a car in your scenario?
Yeah, if I had the option, to go buy a car and set it up and just go drive right away, absolutely.
Really?
Like, I'd rather be getting seat time right now.
Huh.
Than still building
I feel like
a
you'd
car.
expect someone that like does what you do to want to build and be meticulous about their car, and
Nah, it's just all fun.
which you kind of are.
It's just all
You kinda
fun.
are now
It's just
there.
all fun related. Like, if I had the option to go buy a car and go drive today, like, I'd rather be out on track with the boys.
That's fair.
But I said, I knew I could build something from nothing, so I was like, all right, let me get this shell from nothing and just like slowly build it over time. I know I could make a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I know I can build it on a budget. I know K series, so I know I could build a fairly cheap drift car. I didn't anticipate like all the support and all the help, which elevated the car from just a basic drift car to just something that's
a little bit more than
more than I anticipated. But just like anything else, like, you want the best tools for the job, right?
Right.
So understanding motorsports and understanding what it takes to build a proper car. Like, I decided to go with a full FDF kit. I decided to go with good coilovers. I decided to go with a good turbo. And
because I mention all the time, like, how if you're especially newbies on a budget, like, keep the car as simple as possible. That's why I wanted to kind of bring that up, and like, I guess a little bit more details on it, because people are going to look at that and they're going to be like, well, Spoon did it. He went full crazy with his car.
I mean, don't get me wrong, my car's
like,
extremely basic
you
and
have
extremely
the
simple.
ability to, so that's why.
But I still kept it, like, there's nothing to my car. Like, it's simple. It's stripped down. Like,
bolt-ons.
It's a full race car. Like, there's nothing to the wiring. There's nothing. Like, it's just whatever the car needs to function, and that's it. There's no luxury. There's nothing fancy to it. Like, I've been
You
able.
gonna keep interior on it?
It's got a fiberglass dash and 2 bucket seats.
Oh yeah, so no interior. Got it.
Interior. So, like, the car is bare
Race
bone.
car.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's pretty much a race car.
Yeah.
And, like, to me, keeping it that simple, it just makes it easy to work on.
Well, what I see is you're future-proofing yourself, especially if you are gonna. That would end up being the comp car, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is pretty much.
That I assume that would be the idea at this moment. You never know what happens.
I mean, it's built like a comp car.
Well, yeah, no, I know.
Which I didn't anticipate
it.
it.
Get
like,
in it and be like, well, I think this car might be better for a comp car. So, and then plans just change and shit. But right now, that's the goal.
Yeah, I'm dedicated to the A6 chassis.
You gonna like keep the K series? Like even if you go that deep in the competition?
Everybody asks. That's a good question. A lot of people ask me. It's like, why K series? Well, K series because it's cheap and I know it fairly well. For a comp car, would I stay K series? No.
Yeah.
Like
I kind of figured that's why you went K series.
no,
Just
like
go with what you know.
ideal. I want like a high revving V8, like a NASCAR V8 or something.
Really?
Sounds sick.
I don't see that out of you.
Really?
It just doesn't seem like a you thing.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not an LS guy. I hate LSs. But give me a high revving, high pitch like NASCAR V8 or something.
Dude, have you dabbled with any of the Godzilla stuff yet?
No.
I'm not a Ford guy at all.
Me
Not a
either.
Ford guy.
Not at all. Chevy till I die.
But that Godzilla is a fucking.
Nah. I'm a Chevy.
It's a better LS.
I'm a Chevy guy through and.
It's a better. It's straight up. It uses all LS parts.
Is it?
Literally, the Holly accessory drive that Matt got for his
Yeah.
is just LS part numbers, nonstop. The water pump is the same water pump that's in my truck.
Bow tie till I die, baby. It's the Chevy.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I'm just saying that Godzilla has impressed me. Instead of the fuel rails being on the intake, they're on the head.
But isn't that engine massive?
No. It's
No?
like the same thing as it's literally if you put an LS right next to it, you would
Same size.
the average car guy wouldn't even be able to tell the difference.
See, I don't know enough about them.
It's insane how similar they are.
Yeah. But I chose K Series just because it's what I know.
Yeah.
It's cheap. I know how to make a K Series work. And, like, a good set of K Series will make close to 600. Don't get me wrong. At that power level, it's not when it's going to blow. It's not if it's going to blow up. It's when it's going to blow up.
True.
But if you draw that back, 500 on E85, it'll live there forever. And, like, so I'm excited to push the K Series boundaries in drift just because not a lot of people have done it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few K Series drift cars.
Hertz
low
the
power
only one
level.
I've seen like actually use
Yeah.
K series heavily.
And even that's still street stylish style drift car.
Right. So
Like, to put it in a comp style chassis, I'm curious to see what a K Series can do. Definitely gonna push it around some SRs.
yeah, there we go. That's another one that I've contemplated putting in the FC.
Not a
but
SR
that would
fan.
be like no, it'd be very expensive.
Overhyped.
I agree, but
They're not that great.
I want to own an SR one day.
Really?
At least once in my life, I have to own an
Not an
SR.
SR fan at all.
Grew up with Nissans, baby. What can you?
I'm the
what can I
boy.
say?
Yeah. I'm excited to push the boundaries with the K Series and see what it does in a comp style chassis.
yeah.
Just because nobody's done it yet.
Oh, well, that'll be good. I think so. Well, I guess whenever you do finally get the car done and like operable and everything, what smaller local comps are you gonna try and focus on?
I mean, for the
Or are you
first
gonna
year,
go comps right out of the gate at all?
I mean, as long as the car is dialed up and set up and I feel comfortable tandeming, yeah, I'm gonna jump into some local comps. Whether it be
Yeah.
like we have the Gambler and stuff at E-Town, which is local to us. I'll throw a 235 on it, jump into 235 class, and see what the car will do. But for the first year or two, it's just honestly just a bunch of grassroots stuff, Lock City stuff, a bunch of Gridlife stuff. I
yeah.
want to go to almost every Gridlife that I can go to, especially next year. They look like so much
So
fun.
what are y'all gonna do with like hauling wise? Like, are y'all gonna get a bigger trailer and stuff to?
I mean, I'll get my own truck and trailer. I don't
Oh,
want to
okay,
rely.
so you'll be rolling separate.
Yeah, I don't want to rely on Jimmy for everything. Like we have a 2-car, but
Well, yeah, no, I get that.
there's times he wants to bring 2 of his drift cars just in case one breaks. So I plan on getting my own truck and trailer and just
nice.
we'll just mob out together.
So much easier that way, anyways.
I said we have Austin has his JZX90. He wants to get a truck and trailer.
I'm really excited for that car to be out there finally.
Yeah. So
What else left on that one?
what?
His car.
His
Is it
car's
done?
good. It's driving. He
It just
just
hasn't been.
he drove it at the last Lock City event, and they got somebody stove the quarter in a little bit. Kind of hurt me. So his quarter pin was a little stoved in right now.
Oh no.
I gotta go pop that out for him. It hurt. I was in Japan and I saw pictures and I was like, no,
this is
not
the
the
worst
90.
case. But what happened? Like, how did it?
Somebody
Just
spun out
spun.
in front of him. He straightened out and our buddy Seamus was following behind him and just clipped the quarter. Yeah.
Smacked it. Yep. Damn, that sucks, dude. That's got to be my favorite JZX chassis is the 90.
90. I'm a Chaser 100 fan.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good car. I love the rear tails on the 90.
Really?
That's what gets me.
I don't know. I like the boxiness
It's
of the
so like
Chaser.
futuristic.
I like the boxiness of the Chaser 100.
Yeah. I get it. Okay, well actually let me touch on this because we touched on it in the beginning a little bit. The starting your own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I know you said like sure, but like have you ever contemplated it yourself? Like should I just go ahead and start one?
It's been a thought. It's
Really?
definitely it's been a thought. Even prior to meeting up with Jimmy and everything I was doing at my shop on my own, it was always a thought. It's just the workload, like doing it on my own with no support.
Yeah.
Like even when I had my shop, it was just always by myself, just me, one man team doing everything. It's just to add YouTube on top of that, it's just another stress.
Right.
Even to now, like between working on Jimmy's stuff and then trying to work on my car on the side, it's a lot. And then adding
I can
YouTube
only
to that,
imagine.
like seeing from the outside, seeing what all the other guys have to do in between editing and like, we'll spend an entire day at the track and then you'll see them sitting there editing all night. And it's,
Yeah, no, especially when they're sitting there doing their outros and stuff with the computer, like at the hotel, and it's 3 a.m.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
Y'all are nuts, bro. Go to bed.
it's
We'll be
daunting.
fine.
It's daunting, and like I said, my hat goes off to every single one of them.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
never say
ridiculous.
never. Have I thought about it? Absolutely. Is it still on the table for sure?
Do people mention it a lot in the comments?
Yeah.
Like wanting it? Do
Because
you think it'll
they-
ever be like a Grant Anderson situation to where like
I've been
more than likely the channel's coming eventually one day. Like
I've
let's
been
just be
compared.
honest.
I've been
But
compared to Grant. That's probably been the funniest meme going lately. It's like you're the
next Grant.
You're the next YouTuber with no YouTube.
Yep. That's so funny, dude.
like-
Because I was stoked whenever like Jimmy finally brought you on
Yeah.
because you are a good character and you add a good dynamic
you.
to the channel. And for one, the cars turn out. Sorry, Jimmy, way better.
Appreciate that.
Well, it's not even like the skill level or anything. Like
Yeah.
Jimmy has the skill
Jimmy,
level,
yeah,
I'm
for
sure.
sure.
But the time is consumed
yeah.
way too much. He doesn't have the effort to put into all the cars on his own. So it's really not just brought the level of cars and the adding an extra character, but like the quality of the channel has gone up in a sense from what I see. I think.
Appreciate
Would you
that.
say so?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah. I've gotten really good at being efficient and like when it comes to building cars and like
Yeah.
pushing the level. Just I think it's done a lot.
Yeah, well, I think it's opened up a lot of opportunities for Jimmy to be a little bit more like, I guess, energetic with the camera.
Yeah.
Because like there for a while, you could see it, and like even now, you can kind of see him getting a little drained a little bit in the videos, but you can see it for a while. And then he brought you on, and now like his intros seem a little bit more extravagant.
Yeah.
Like he seems a little bit more jokative. And,
Yeah, I've taken a lot off his plate.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's good.
Um,
I dig it.
But yeah, that's the YouTube. It's still on the table, and I see the comments all the time, and a lot of people want to see the fab side of stuff, which Jimmy doesn't really care to cover, just because he thinks a lot of people don't want to see it. But there's an audience for
Shaky side
everything.
of YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, there's an audience for everything, and you see it all the time. Like people want to see more in-depth stuff, and like, so it's been on the back of my mind. It's just adding that on top of the workload that I already have is just hard.
Hear me out. Twitch stream.
That I've been contemplating a lot more lately.
Live. Just fucking live
As
stream
I work,
you
yeah.
fabricating.
That's been, if anything, that'll happen before the YouTube.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that would suit what you're doing better. It's
Yeah.
less brain power to put into.
Just
set
hanging
it
out.
up,
Yeah, it's just
set
hanging
a
out.
couple
Chat,
angles
yeah.
up if you want, whatever. Just chill and do your thing.
I said talking
Talk
to
it.
Sam.
Do
Sam
something to,
is
like,
a big
communicate
Twitch
with.
guy, and like he twitched.
Oh, yeah, duh.
He streamed the entire Matsuri. Like his car, he had 7 cameras on his car,
Dude,
Which is-
I've mentioned that on the podcast.
which is
That's
insane.
nuts.
It's something definitely like something
Setting
new.
some groundwork
Yeah.
there. That's for sure.
Like to be able to do that and literally live stream while you're driving around track. With
And not
7
only that, they control the
They
camera
control the
angles.
cameras.
Yeah, they can
You
watch
control
whatever
what
they want.
angle you pick, which is wild. And like seeing that side of it is like that was cool. That was definitely cool. So yeah, no, I think Twitch for me and what I do, especially because I don't have to think about it too much.
Yeah.
And it's just more organic and just like.
And I know you're sitting there just chilling with your headphones in anyways. It'll give you like people to talk to, kind of interact with without even thinking about it. You can just look over. If you see a funny comment, what the fuck, dude? That's hilarious. And then
that within the past month or so, I think Twitch has been more of a
that seems
in the mindset of it.
Yeah, and then you can just pay someone to like cut up clips for you from it for reels and shit. Oh my god. Well, cool. I hope to see something like that from you. That'll be sick.
That'd be cool.
Well, I'll be right there to follow you. If you need any help, let me know too.
I appreciate that. No, sick.
I know I'm small on the totem pole. You got better.
You're doing great.
Better options, I'm sure. But all right. Well, we'll do the last 3 questions that are in every podcast. So I know you're doing this right now, but you kind of went a little overboard.
Yeah.
So if you dialed it back and built the perfect seat time car for yourself off in Juku, what car would it be for one, and then what parts would you buy on a Juku?
As much as I hate them, it's gonna be a Z. It's
we got him to do it.
As much as I hate them, you can't deny the fact that they just work.
Yeah.
They are the perfect street time, just bash car. Like, all you need is a handbrake, bucket seat, and a good radiator.
Truthfully, I wouldn't even say a handbrake. Coilovers take the bump stops out, and you're honestly good. That's about it.
Yeah, good coilovers.
Welded diff, sorry. Welded diff.
That you can do on your own. That you don't got to spend no money.
Yeah.
Welded diff, coilovers, bucket seat, maybe a small bolt-on angle kit.
Yeah.
For a little extra lock, and that's it.
It's crazy.
You can probably get away with the stock hand. Yeah, you can probably get away with the stock handbrake for a while.
So many people say that. If that doesn't give you the answer, I don't know what will.
Like that, or just invest into a sim.
Yeah. If you really want to save money and be budget,
like invest into a sim. I've seen a lot of guys get really good on a sim and go drive a pro car first time out.
Yeah, get a sim so that you can learn, and then you don't go destroy the car and all the parts that you buy from Juku that cost ungodly amounts of money. Because especially an angle kit or a control arm or something, that hurts to break. That's one of the most inconvenient parts to break ever.
I'm saying just having a tire budget is expensive.
Yeah, that too. Jesus Christ. I just had a bunch more tires show up right before I came. I was supposed to drive this event, but a whole bunch of shit happened. And I blew a drive shaft.
I would have loved to see you drive this event.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to. So this is a dream track
Lime Rock is insane. Like, hopefully, God willing, I'm here next year with my car.
Gridlife, I'm coming back, baby. You better be back at Lime Rock next year, because this has got to happen. Okay, and then what would you say is your best advice to just anyone getting into drifting, since you're literally doing that right now?
Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Like, don't think you need to be the best person out there. Like, people are going to want to see you do good. People are going to help you do better. Like, just enjoy it. Have fun with it. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to spin out. There's going to be people better than you. There's going to be people worse than you.
You're going to embarrass yourself.
You're going to embarrass yourself. Like, yeah, just have fun with it. Ask questions. Like, don't take it too seriously. And I think that's where a lot of people lose the love for it. They just take it way too serious.
That is very true.
It's supposed to be a fun thing.
Good advice. I love that. All right, and then the last one is, if you had the opportunity to speak to the entire world, what would your one message be? About anything.
Have fun. Enjoy life. Like, with everything going on in the world, just enjoy life. We only get one life to live.
Yeah. Good shit. Well, that was easy. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, first, I appreciate you taking the time out of this Gridlife and coming to have a conversation with me and just talk about some stupid cars. And
That's it. We're just car guys having fun.
Absolutely. Drive 15 hours for conversation is crazy, bro. But yeah, if you want, plug yourself, plug your people, any companies you want to shout out or anything like that.
Just, guys, Spoon A60 on Instagram, Jimmy Oaks podcast, YouTube.
Hell yeah. Easy peasy. All right. Well, yeah, again, that's all we got for this one. So don't forget, smash the subscribe button and the bell notification. Links to everything you'll always need are in the description. Again, big shout out to Gridlife for giving us this space and allowing us to do this. Big shout out to Kansei too for making this happen. So that's all we got. We'll see you each and every Sunday for a brand new episode. Thanks. See you guys.
Stacking way up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want 4, then I leave her. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach you. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater. Stacking way up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want 4, then I leave her. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach you. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater. We in the bag of the band, shit like a sauna, she working a sweat. Told her come over, bring her and her friend. Put her to work, gotta earn her rent. Fucking so good, she should pay me for.